What's going on, everybody? The original Mako back with another Shark Scale video, and today we've got Birdie Wings, one that I just finished. It was another short one, 25 episodes, I think, and it was very interesting for sure. And I'm excited to kind of talk about it. As always, you know, if you want to catch me live, doing playing some games live, I want to chat about anime live or whatever, check out the links down below. Check out the Twitch link and the Kick link. I would very much appreciate it. But regardless, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into it here. As always, there's potential to be some slight spoilers. I'm going to try to avoid it at all costs, but we're going to be going through these different categories and ranking it. Birdie Wings is an anime about, it's a golf/mafia anime, which is interesting. And it is not, it hasn't been confirmed for season 3, but it absolutely could have one based on how the story ended. And if there's never a season 3, I'm going to be pissed off because it ended in a little bit of a cliffhanger. But anyways, let's go ahead and get through our categories here. First off, as always, we've got the characters. The characters in the show, how good are they? Once again, 70 is our average. So above 70 is above average. Below 70 is below average. The characters are very, once again, this is never pre-scripted or anything. This all comes right off the dome, and I'm trying to think right now how I would want to rank them. The two main characters are very good. There's a lot of depth. There's a lot of like twists with those characters, and they're both they both have very different personalities and quirks that stay throughout the whole show, and it's fun to watch how those how they deal with situations with their different personalities and whatnot. Some of the side characters I wish had a little more screen time. There's a couple in particular that are like very vital to the story, but you don't really see much of them. Like you hear about them and you know who they are, and they pop up on screen maybe 2 to 3 times for 30 seconds to a couple minutes at most. I wish there was just a little bit more development for some of those side characters. Now, once again, it's a shorter show, but I've seen shows like Cyberpunk Edge Runners or the first 2 seasons of Dr. Stone. I've seen shows do it, so I know it can be done. So the main characters are, which it's going to be above average because the main characters are the stars of the show. So those need to be good, and they're very good. The side characters I wish had a little more to them. I'm going to give it just a little above average for the characters. I just wish some of the side characters had a little bit more development. Next up, we've got the S, which is story. How good is the story? The story's really intriguing. Now, this is the first sports anime I think I've ever watched, and it's golf. It does find a way. I mean, it makes golf pretty fun to watch and entertaining because it's also mixed with a mafia storyline. So, there's different games of golf throughout the show that are played with literal lives on the line. I don't know why they choose to settle things with golf. It doesn't, whatever. Anyway, also, I don't know why that line just cut in like that. That's really weird. Page split, whatever. So yeah, it makes it entertaining, and it's really interesting with the whole mafia thing going on. And then the 2 main characters, their storyline is also really interesting, and it's there's some like somewhat emotional moments. There are there's all sorts of emotions during the show, which is really good. There weren't too many like crazy twists that happened. There were a couple of small ones, so it's gonna go above average. But once again, nothing too crazy. I'm gonna give the story an 80 right now. If there's a season 3 and they can sort of wrap everything up and finish it, then I think it could go a little higher. Probably not too much higher, though. I don't think. The world. It's normal. It's typical. Like the world is normal. It's not like a new country, a new area, nothing like that. It's just Earth. The locations are Earth. But once again, it's a place where the mafia settles things with golf, And then if their champion golfer loses a match, then they like just fucking shoot him. So it's like, why don't they resort to guns in the first place? And just, but instead they just decide we're just going to play golf. So it's really interesting, but it's not, it's going to bump it above average a little bit because of that, but it's nothing like the world building outside of that is nothing too crazy. It's just pretty typical world. So how much does the mafia settling things with golf bump it up? I think 74 is fair for the world as well. Music. Now, okay, so the M stands for music, but I always do the whole soundtrack as a whole. I feel like with this show, most of the time sound effects don't really matter to talk about because they're not good enough to like bump up this number or bad enough to bump it down. With this show, I feel like I have to talk about the sound effects. There's a few sounds that are more satisfying than a nice, cleanly struck golf ball, like IRL and in shows or whatever. And they do such a good job of nailing that sound. And the sound when the ball falls in the cup, it's very satisfying. And I feel like has to be a talking point. The opening is great. They have the same opening for the first 2 seasons. It's a fantastic opening. The endings are okay. They're not bad by any stretch of the imagination. And the soundtrack or the sound effects are really, really good. So I'm going to give this an 83. It's nothing mind-blowing, but it's very good and definitely adds to the ambiance and feel a bit. Next up, we've got the animation. It's pretty standard animation style. Some of the special shots have some pretty cool animations. They're not super vibrant. Obviously, once again, Demon Slayer is the benchmark. It's not fucking Demon Slayer, but it's still animated very well. And I think, once again, if 70 is just average, I'd say the special shot animations are really nice. There's a lot of them. Which makes it somewhat flashy. So I think I'm going to go above average, but nothing crazy. It's good animation. It's just nice, clean animation. Overall enjoyment. This number is going to be skewed at the time that if I was to just watch this at this point right now in my life, I'm currently feel like I'm entering my middle-aged white dad phase. I'm obsessed with golf. I love golfing. I love watching golf. So I wanted to watch a golfing anime, and that's why I watched this. So I really enjoyed it. I was really enjoying watching it. It was helping me get some of my fix when I was just sitting on the couch, So I really enjoyed it. I think it had there's a couple of genuinely themes that are very deep themes that are explored in a very interesting way. But when it comes down to it, there's a lot of fucking golf, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. There were games that came down to the wire. It was just fun to watch. So overall enjoyment, I'm gonna put it up I'm gonna give it an 86 for overall enjoyment. I really enjoyed it. Do I think it's the best piece of fiction I've ever watched? No. Do I think it's as bad as 2B Heroine? No, obviously. But it's good. It's good. I definitely enjoyed it. Which is going to bring us to our total here. And we're going to see where this is getting put. It's not going to be too high, but once again, it was just a good show. 80, 74, 83, 75, and 86. Out of 100 is a 78.6. Ta-da! Oh, probably want to put the out of 100 there. All right, so 78.6 out of 100. Where does that put it? Oh my God, it's right here, right above Chivalry of a Failed Knight, and right below Magi. Well, nope. Tab. And I figured out how to fix this yesterday, so I'm just going to do it really quick. Ta-da. Okay, There we go. That needs to be closer. There we go. Birdie Wings. It was a fun watch. It was, once again, everything I'd say was slightly above average. A couple of things like the sound effects and my overall enjoyment were a little well above average, but it was a great show to watch. I had fun watching it, and if there's a season 3, I would absolutely be watching it again. So hopefully they announce one at some point. I think season 2 literally just ended though, like in June, so probably not happening anytime soon. Either way, it was a good watch, and like I said, there's a lot of these coming out soon because there were a lot that I was watching weekly that are ending, and there's a lot that I was watching, or now I'm watching short ones. So the short ones will be coming out sooner as well. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. If you have seen this, I'd be shocked. But if you have, let me know your thoughts down below. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Love each and every one of your faces, and I will catch you all in the next video.